Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new here, welcome. If you are new here, I do true crime. That's what I do on my channel. That's what I focus on my channels. In the whole month of September, I'm going to be talking about serial killers. And if you've been here in the beginning, you know that I have a little series that calls With Their Voice, and that I upload those on Friday. And it's basically a series that I talk about missing children cases. That is still going to keep being the same. Those I chose Friday. I don't know why I chose Friday, but I've always done Friday. I always want to keep it Friday. But the whole month of, so I decided to change it up, and so the whole month of September, it's gonna be a serial killer case. So today we're gonna be talking about the BTK serial killer, Dennis Rader, who's something else. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. As you can see, I'm wearing my robe. Guys, if you feel this robe, like if you could feel it from like just, it feels so good. I got this for like a birthday gift. I forgot. I don't know. Was it a birthday gift? I don't know. But it feels amazing. Like, so yeah, that's why I'm wearing my robe. And plus, I just got out of the shower. I have a daughter. If anybody knows, I have a daughter. And it's just, school. Taking a bath. Why? What happened?
Huh?
What happened? Did y'all forget Charlie was outside? I was gonna bring him in, but I didn't know if y'all wanted me to keep him outside.
I'll let him
I am so sorry, guys. That was my mother-in-law. She was talking to she was looking for my daughter. My mother-in-law. She was looking for my daughter. So, yeah. Like I was saying, I just got out of the shower. I have a 6-year-old, and school. If you have a child that goes to school, like, how do y'all do it? Because me, it's like I get home, I make food for her, and then taking her bath, and it's just doing homework with her. It's a long day, but I don't mind doing it because that's like that's my best friend. Like, she is my best friend who keeps me up and keeps me going. I know this is it's a really long intro, but let's go ahead and start and see who is the BTK killer and how he's a creep. Oh, warning on this case, and I know I need to get really good at doing warnings in some of these cases. I just forget, but it's gonna be talked about sexual assault. There is children involved. I think it's one family that has children involved. So if you do not like any of that, go ahead and just exit out. I will see you on Friday with the missing children case. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So Dennis was born on March 9th of 1945 to Dora and William Rader, one of 4 sons. His brothers are Paul, Bill, and Jeff. Sources give Rader place at birth as either Columbus, Kansas, or Pittsburgh, Kansas. He grew up in Wichita. Both parents worked long hours and paid little attention to their children at home. Give me a second, guys. I forgot my glasses. Aren't they cute? They're not new. I've been having these for a while, but I just stopped wearing them. So yeah, both parents worked long hours and paid little attention to their children at home. Rader later described feeling ignored by his mother, and particularly resent her for it. From a young age, Rader harbored sadistic sexual fantasies about torturing trapped and helpless women. He also exhibited sustenance by torturing, killing, and hanging small animals. And Rader acted sexual fantasy for Vorgesium, authority as cessation. Look, if y'all been here for the beginning, English is not okay. Me and English are not words, good friends. This is how it is, okay? and cross-dressing. He often spied on female neighbors while dressed in women's clothing, including a woman's underwear that he had stolen, and masturbated with ropes or other bending around his arms and neck. Years later, during his cooling off periods between murders, Rader would take a picture of himself wearing a woman's clothes and a female mask but bound. He later admitted that he was pretending to be his victim as part of a sexual fantasy. However, Rader kept his sexual proclivities well hidden, and he was widely regarded in his community as a normal, polite, and well-mannered. Rader attended Kansas Wesleyan University after his high school, but received a medical grades and dropped out after 1 year. He served in the United States Air Force from 1966 to 1970. On his discharge, he moved to Park City, a suburb in Wichita, where he worked in the meat department of an IGA supermarket where his mother was a bookkeeper. Rader married Paul Ditas on May 22nd of 1971. Then he had 2 children, Carrie and Brian. He attended Butter County Community College in Dorado, earning an associate's degree in electronics in 1973. He then enrolled at Wichita State University and graduated in 1979 with a Bachelor of Science degrees and majoring in Administration of Justice. Rader intensely worked as an ambassador for the Coleman Company, an outdoor supply company. He then worked at the Wichita-based office of ADTD Security Service from 1974 to 1988, where he installed security alarms as part of his job in many cases for homeowners concerned about the BTK killings. Rader was Census Field Operations Supervisor for the Wichita area in 1989, before the 1990 federal genesis. In May of 1991, Rader became a dog catcher and complaints officer in Park City. In the position, neighbors recall him as being sometimes overzealous and extremely strict, as well as taking special pleasure on bullying and harassing single women. One neighbor complained that Rader killed her dog for no reason. Rader was a member of the Christian Lutheran Church in Wichita and had been elected president of the church council. He was also a Cub Scout leader. On July 26, 2005, after Rader arrest, his wife was granted an emergency divorce, waiving the normal waiting period. In an interview with ABC News in 2019, Rader's daughter Carrie said she still writes her father and has not forgive him, but still struggles to conceal him with the BTK killer, stating her childhood seemed normal and they were a normal American family. So now we're gonna go through the murders and how it happened. On January 15th of 1994, 4 members of the Ortudo family was murdered in Wichita, Kansas. The victims were Joseph, age 38, Julie, age 33, Joseph Jr., age 9, and Sophia, age 11. They did have another son, but the other son was in school, so he was luckily not there when it happened. Their bodies were discovered by the family's 3 older children. Okay, so they had another. Okay, sorry about that, but they did have other 3. I thought it was only 1, but it was 3 other kids, and luckily they weren't there. They were in school when this happened. So imagine just having a normal day in school, and just coming and seeing your family. Oh, I couldn't bear that at all. Their bodies were discovered by the family 3 older children, Charlie, Danny, and Carmen, who had been at school at the time of the killings. After his 2005 arrest, Rader confessed of killing the Ortudo family. Rader wrote a letter that had been stashed inside an engineering book in the Wichita Public Library in October of 1974, which described in detail the killing of the Rader family, and in January of that year. Between the spring of 1974 and the winter of 77, Rader killed 3 more women: Kathleen, April 4th, 1974, Shirley, March 17th of 1977, and Nancy Fox, December 8th of 1977. In early of 1978, he sent another letter to television station in Wichita, claiming responsibility for the murders of the Arturus bride, Veen, Redford, and Fox. He suggests many possible names for himself, including the one that stuck, BTK. He demanded media attention. In the second letter, it was finally announced that Wichita did indeed have a serial killer at large. A poem was enclosed titled, "Oh, Death to Nancy," a parody of the lyrics to the American folk song, "Oh, Death." The letter he claimed to be driven to be killed by Factor X, which he characterized as a supernatural element that also motivated Jack the Ripper, the son of Sam, in the Hillside Strangler murders. He also intended to kill others such as Anna Williams, who in 1979, age 63, escaped the death by returning home much later than expected. Rader explained during his confession that he became obsessed with Williams, and he was obviously livid when she evaded him. He spent hours waiting at her home, but became impatient and left when she did not return home from visiting friends. Marie H., age 53, was found on May 5th of 1985 at East 53rd Street North between North Webb Road and North Grange Road in Wichita. Rader killed her on April 27 and took her dead body to his church, Christian Lutheran Church, where he was the president of the church council. There he photographed her body in various pungent positions. Rader had previously stored black plastic sheets and other materials at the church in preparation for the murder, and then later dumped the body in a remote dish he had called his plan Project Cookie. In 1988, after the murders of 3 members of the Rader family in Wichita, a letter was received from someone claiming to be the BTK killer, in which the author of the letter denied being the perpetrator of the Fetch murders. The author credited the killer with having done immemorable work. It was not proven until 2005 this letter was in fact written by Rader. He is not considered by police to have committed this crime. 2 women Rader stalked in 1980s and one who he stalked in the mid-1990s failed restraining orders against him. One of them also changed her address to avoid him. His final victim, Dolores E. Davis, was found on February of 1991 at west of 117th Street North and North Murden Street in Park City. Rader killed her on January 19th. By 2014, the investigation of the BTK killer was considered a cold case. The Rader intended a series of 11 communications to the local media. This activity led direct to his arrest in February 2005. In 2004, the Wichita Eagle received a letter from someone using the name Billy Thomas Killerman. The author of the letter claimed that he had murdered Vicky Wilder on September 16th of 1986 and enclosed photos of the crime scene and photocopy of her driver license, which had been stolen at the time of the crime. Before this, it had not been definitely established and the Wegler was killed by BTK. DNA collected from under Wegler's fingernails provided police with the previous unknown evidence that had begun DNA testing hundreds of men in the effort to find the serial killer. Although more than 1,000 DNA samples were taken, later destroyed by court order. On May 2004, television station KAKE in Wichita received a letter with a chapter heading for the BTK story, Fake Ideas and World Puzzle. On June 9th, a package was found taped to a stop sign at the corner of First and Kansas Roads in Wichita. It had a graphic description in the Tudor murders and stretch label, "The Sexual Thrills is my bill." Also enclosed was a chapter list for proposal book titled The BTK Story, which mimicked a story written in 1999 by Court TV crime writer David Lorcher. Chapter 1 was titled A Serial Killer is Born. In July, a package dropped into the return slot at a public library contained more bizarre material, including the claim that he was responsible for the death of 19-year-old Jack Helen in Regina, Kansas, earlier that month. The claim was false, and the death was ruled a suicide. After his capture, Rader admitted in his interrogation that he had been planning to kill again. He had set a date, October 2004, and was stalking his intended victim. In October 2004, a mail-late envelope was dropped into the UPS box in Wichita. It had many cards with images of terror and bondages of children pasted on them. A poem threatening the life of lead investigator Lieutenant Ken Lindworth, and a false autograph with many details about Rader's life. These details were later released to the public, and on December 4th, Wichita police received another package from the BTK killer. The time the package was found in Wichita Motor Park, it had the driver license of Nancy Fox, which was noted as stolen from the crime scene, as well as a doll that was symbolic bound at the hands and feet, had a plastic bag tied over her head. In 2005, Rader attempted to leave a cereal box in the bed of a pickup truck at Home Depot in Wichita, but the box was discharged by the trucker's owner. It was later retrieved from the trash. Later, Rader asked what has come of it in the later message. Surveillance tape of the parking lot from that day revealed a significant figure doing a black Jeep Cherokee leaving the box in the pickup. In February 2005, more postcards were sent to KAKE, and another cereal box left at the rural location was found to contain another Bond doll. In his letter to police, Rader asked if his writings, if put on a floppy disk, could be traced or not. The police answered his question in a newspaper ad posted in the Wichita Eagle, saying it would be safe to use the disk. On February 2016-2005, Rader sent purple 1.44 megabyte floppy disk to Fox-affiliated KSAS-TV in Wichita. Also enclosed were a letter of a gold-colored necklace with a large medallion and a photocopy of the cover of Rules of Prey, a 1989 novel by John Stanford about a serial killer. Police found mutated and banned and deleted Microsoft Word document that was unknown to Rader, still stored on the floppy disk. The mutated contained the words Chris Lutheran Church, and the document was marked at last modified by Dennis. An internet search determined that Dennis Rader was president of the church council. When investigators drove by Rader's house, a black Jeep Cherokee, the type of vehicle seen in the Home Depot surveillance footage, was parked outside. This was strong circumstantial evidence against Rader, but they needed more direct evidence to detain him. Police obtained a warrant to test a pap smear taken from Rader's daughter in the Kansas City State University medical clinic. DNA tests showed the family match between the pap smear and the sample from Wiegler's fingernails. This indicates that the killer was closely related to Rader's daughter, and combined with the other evidence was enough for police to arrest Rader. Rader was arrested while driving near his home in Park City shortly after noon on February 25 of 2005. An officer asked Mr. Rader, "Do you know why you're going downtown?" Rader replied, "Oh, I have suspicions why." Wichita Police, the Kansas Bury Investigation, the FBI, and the TF agents searched Rader's home. A vehicle seized evidence, including computer equipment, a pair of black pantyhose, retrieved from a shade in a critical container. The church he attended, his office of City Hall, and the main branch of the Park City Library were also searched. At a press conference the next morning, Wichita Police Chief Norman Williams announced, "The bottom line, BTK is arrested." On February 28, 2005, Rader was charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder. Soon after his arrest, the Associated Press citizen and an anonymous source alleging that Rader had confessed to other murders, in addition to those which he had been connected. However, the Cedarwood County District Attorney denied the story, yet to refuse to say whether Rader had any confession, or investigators were looking into Rader's possible involvement in more unsolved killings. On March 5th of that year, news source claimed to have verified by multiple sources that Rader had confessed to the 10 murder he was charged with, but no others. On March 1st, Rader bail was set at $10 million, and a public defender was appointed to represent him. On May 3rd, the judge entered a not guilty plea on Rader's behalf, as Rader did not speak at his arraignment. However, on June 27, the scheduled trial date, Rader changed his plea to guilty. He described the murders in detail and made no apologies. If y'all go to YouTube, if y'all want to go see it, because I couldn't handle seeing the court, because this man is the devil in disguise. I am telling you, he literally stands there and he explained every murder with no feelings. Like, you could see it in his eyes that he is a cold-hearted person. Like, the way he talks to, and the way he's explaining the murders, is like he's talking to a friend. That's exactly how it is. Like, at Rader's August 18th sentencing, victim's family made a statement, after which Rader apologized in a rambling 30-minute monologue that prosecutor likened to an Academy Awards acceptance speech. Because he didn't care. He was just apologizing because probably the lawyer said, oh, just apologize to the family. His statement had been described as an example as an often absurd phenomenon among psychopaths, their ability to understand the emotions content of language. He was sentenced to 10 consecutive life sentences with a minimum of 175 years. Kansas had no death penalty at the time of the murders, and on August 19th, he was moved to El Dorado Correctional Faculty. Rader talks about his innocuous topics such as the weather during the 45-minute drive to El Dorado, but began to cry when the victim's family statement from the court proceeding came into the radio. He's now in solitary confinement for his protection, with 1 hour of exercise per day and showers 3 times per week. This will likely continue indefinitely beginning in 2006. He was allowed to access to television and radio, to read magazines, and other privilege of good behavior. Following Rader arrest, police in Wichita Park City and several surrounding cities looked into unsolved cases with the cooperation of the state police and the FBI. They particularly focused on cases after 1994, when the death penalty was restated in Kansas, and police in surrounding states such as Nebraska, Missouri, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Texas also investigated cold cases that fit Rader's pattern in some extent. The FBI and local jurisdiction at the Rader's former duty station checked on to solve cases during Rader's time in the service. After exclusive investigation, none of these agencies discovered any further murders attributed to Rader, and confirming earlier suspicions that Rader would have taken credit for any additional murders that he had committed. The 10 known murders are now believed to be the only murders of which Rader is actually responsible. Although Wichita police are fairly certain that Rader stalked and researched a number of other potential victims, this includes one person who was safe when Rader called off his plan to attack upon his arrival near the target's home due to the presence of construction and road crew nearly. Rader stated his police interview that there's a lot of lucky people, meaning that he had thought about and developed various levels of murder plans for the victims. Massachusetts psychologist Robert Mendoza was hired by Rader court-appointed public defender to conduct a psychological evaluation of Rader and determine if any anxiety-based offense may be viable. He conducted an interview after Rader had pleaded guilty on June 27th of 2005. Mendoza diagnosed Rader with narcissistic antisocial and compulsive personality disorder. He observed that Rader is a grandiose sense of self, a belief that he is special and therefore entitled to special treatment, a pathological need for attention and admiration, a preoccupation with maintaining rigidity, order, and structure, and complete lack of empathy. NBC claimed that Rader knew the interview may be televised, but this was false according to Sidekick County Sheriff Police. Rader mentioned the interview during his sentencing statement. On October 2005, the Kansas Attorney General filed a petition to sue Mendes and Tall Waters, co-owners of Cambridge Forensic Consulting AC, for breach of the contract, claiming that they intended to defend financial from the use of information obtained through environment in Rader's defense. On May 10, 2007, Mendoza settled the case for $30,000 with no admission of wrongdoing. So the victim was Joseph Arturo. He was age 39. Julie Maria Altubo, 33. Joseph Arturo Jr., 9. Josephina, 11. Catherine, 21. Shirley Ruth, 24. Nancy, 25. Maureen Walsh, 53. Vicky, 28. And Dolores, 62. And that is the case of a psycho person that should had been put on the death penalty. I think that he committed these murders because he did not get the attention of his mom and dad, and he wanted the attention. Because I have never heard, if y'all have, let me know, because I have never heard of a serial killer like just basically waving the flag, say, hey, it's me, I'm the one doing it. Like, he literally would send pictures, he would do everything. Okay, like I know back then was probably much harder. It wasn't as easy to they would have catched him early, but DNA, I guess, wasn't that advanced as it is today. But I think he did it because he wanted that attention. He didn't get attention from his mom and his dad. And so he's like, okay, well, I'm going to get attention some way. And as sick of a person he is, he went the wrong way. I mean, you had a wife, sir, okay? You had 2 kids. You could have had gotten attention from both of them, okay? Your wife probably loved you. You were a church member, sir. And the fact that you wanted to drop a dead body in the church, in God's house, Dennis, Dennis, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Your ass should have been gone to the death penalty, but I guess. And I didn't know that they had him in, like, solitary confinement. I guess, I don't know. Y'all should let him in the crowd. Let him be with the other inmates. If they kill him, they kill him. I mean, Jeff, he did it too. I don't have clothes.
Well, I'm gonna go be a hoe real quick, alright?
Sorry guys.
I'll be home a little late.
That's my brother-in-law. I said that was my brother-in-law. I do have clothes on, guys. I didn't want him to come in the video. That was my brother-in-law, guys. I'm so sorry about that. Y'all gonna hear that. Don't worry about it. I'm not starting this video again. I'm the type of person that I want to be as real as I can. So if you hear noises, that's my life. I'm just like that. But anyways, back to Dennis. Dennis, sir, you need to look, sir. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Oh Lord, I don't know what to say about this man. Like, you had a wife, sir. You had a family. And I'm sorry. Like, I give props to the daughter that she still, like, talks to him. But I don't have that type of heart. Like, if you're my dad and I find out that you kill innocent people because you're a sick person, yeah, I'm about to change my last name. Because I'm not, no, sir. And he said nothing about his wife or his other son. But at least he is where he belongs, and I hope he stays there and rot in hell when he dies. And I say it as nicely as I can. No, I do not. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I hope he dies. I really do. I really do, because like people like him just do not deserve to breathe. And I'm telling you guys, if y'all want to go see the trial, I couldn't, because this man, like I'm telling you, he is a devil in disguise. Like, how are you gonna just stand there? And I don't. How did guys? How did the family? I couldn't do it. I could not sit there in court and listen to this sicko explain how he murdered my family and then don't even have any sympathy. Like, how do you, like, I would have probably jumped on him across the table and beat him up. I swear, guys, I would do that. That's why I can't be in court, because I would jump on him real quick. And I will tell the guards, you finna take me to prison too, because I'm finna jump on his butt. I don't care. Like, how cold of a person can you be? Like, just to sit there and not feel anything. Like, that to me is, I don't, guys, he is, I hope he dies. I really hope. I don't even know how old is he. Let me see. Let me check, because I didn't even check. Let me see. Let me see. He's old and ugly. Oh, he's age 77. Yeah, sir. You need to hurry up and just die. I'm sorry. Not sorry. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I feel about this man. But yeah, that was the case of the BTK person who does not have any feelings and do not care for others. So I will see y'all on Friday with a new case. And like I said, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.